questions of uniform accelerated motion. So because this is chapter 6, so write 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4. So 6.5. So 6.5 is called motion under gravity. Motion under gravity. This is the fifth subtopic. And that's the last, it's the last subtopic of what? Motion in a straight line. So you see that right now, we have found a subtopic 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to make sure to cover all these 5 subtopics in order for us to declare that now we understand the motion in a straight line. Again, another thing that I want to share with you, there are unnecessary yes, there are limitations or boundaries or testing key, like the testing keys in motion of the straight line. Okay? So, in this one we call them specific objectives. There are specific objectives stated that the students has to be able to. Specific objectives objectives of what? Specific objectives of, or specific objectives in motion in straight line. Okay, specific objectives in motion in straight line according to this is according to what? According to O-level syllabus. That's the meaning of what is specific objectives. So in each subtopic there are defined the specific objective that the students has to meet before finishing the topic. For instance, the specific objective for this distance and displacement are the specific objectives of what? Of distance, of subtopic distance. So for subtopic distance and displacement. The specific objectives of subtopic distance and the displacement. There are 3 specific objectives have been mentioned that required to be made by the students not to master this concept, and they have been listed. Okay, so let me mention one and then I will tell you about the rest. Let me make a cut. The syllabus say that the student should be able to the student should be able to distinguish between distance and displacement. To distinguish, you student, when you cover the topic of motion, you should be able to distinguish between what? To distinguish between distance and displacement. What the difference between distance, the concept of distance and displacement. So that is first specific objective in the subtopic of distance and displacement. So a student should be able to distinguish between distance and the displacement. Don't worry, I will teach you how you can make that distinction. So we have to, when we be together, we have to meet that subtopic. We have to meet that specific objective so that we will be able to apply the concept or the knowledge in our daily life, and also we'll be able to answer questions that will be tested from that subtopic. Also, there is the second specific objective. I leave this for you, and then there is the third specific objective on that on that subtopic. So the subtopic is the specific objective of the subtopic distance. So let's say that this is 5.1. So where will you get this second specific objective for distance, for the subtopic of distance and displacement? You'll get it from this book. So I insist you, no, there is only one. There's the one and the first is specific objective and second. So I leave the second, so you have to get this book and then you fill the blank. So then we go for second specific, second subtopic, which is 5, which is, so this is 6.5, sorry, excuse me. 6.1, and this is 6.2. Okay, the second subtopic is what is speed and the velocity. Say speed and velocity. Again, say speed and velocity. Again, say speed and velocity. Remember that these materials are for the Form 2, Form 4, and also what? Form 2. So speed and velocity. So this is end. So this is end. And velocity. So I would like to make quotation. So this is end of my quote. The quotation state with this: the student should be able, at ending of this subtopic, the student should be able to. So there are how many specific objectives? There is specific objective. I will mention only one. So there is first specific objective, order this book or find this book, then you fill the blank. There is the second specific objective, also order the book and then you fill the blank. You know the second specific objective for this subtopic. Then there is the third specific objective for this second subtopic, and I would like to mention it to you. The student, a Form 2 student, should be able to determine average velocity, average velocity, okay, average velocity of a body, average velocity of a body. To determine average velocity of 40 of a body. So this is the same specific objective. The student should be able to determine average velocity of a body. So this is the end of quote concerned about that specific objective, which is called speed and velocity. So then we go for 6.3. The third specific objective here is called the acceleration. Say it with me. Acceleration. Pronounce it again. Acceleration. The concept of acceleration is very important in science, in mathematics, in real life. So you have to bear it. You have to keep in your mind acceleration. So we say that at the end, the specific objective. So we say that the specific objective, the specific objectives. Okay, specific objective of 40 or specific objective required to be achieved in the topic of acceleration. okay, in the topic of acceleration are, I would like to make a quote again from the syllabus book. They say that the quote is the student should be able to students should be able to do it. So here we are, to do the following. How many specific objectives are there on the syllabus? There are 3 specific objectives. The first specific objective is make sure that you get a syllabus book for you to learn, so you fill the blank. The second specific objective, I would like to mention it, right? Determine the acceleration of a body and D. So at the end of learning, at the end of training you, the cause of acceleration, you who is watching this video right now, you, my beloved student, you should be able to determine the acceleration, and this we call the linear acceleration. In advanced and diploma physics, linear acceleration. I will teach you also about angular acceleration. Determine acceleration of of the body, and D. So and it means that that's the preparation for the said specific objective, and for this case is the question mark, right? Then the next subtopic is called the equations of uniform accelerated motion. So in this topic, I will teach you the first Newton's equation, second Newton's equations of the motion in a straight line, and third Newton's equation of motion in straight line. So that the meanings of that, this is specific objective. The first specific objective is 6.4, and it's called the motion specific objective. The subtopic is called the equations of uniformly accelerated motion. Say it with me. Equation. Okay? Say it again. Equations of uniformly accelerated motion. Equations of uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, the subtopics. The subtopics, okay, in this subtopic, excuse me, not subtopics, the specific objectives, excuse me, okay, the specific objectives of what in this subtopic. In this subtopic I would like to make a quote again. The student, you who is watching now, you should be able to, how many specific objectives are there? This is very interesting. Many students, they used to get confused and even afraid this subtopic. But believe me, physics is beautiful. I love physics, I like physics, and I will even transform you and make you love and like physics. And it should be your best friend rather than your enemy. Okay. So how many specific objectives are there? Two specific objectives. So let me mention one. And then the second one, you have to fill the blank, you yourself as a student, after having a syllabus book. Okay? Derive equations of of uniformly accelerated motion. Uniform accelerated motion, then we have ND. The next is specific objective. I leave the blank, you fill it, because you're a goody and serious student. Then we got the last specific objective, which is 6.5. I told you that this is specific objective, these subtopics, excuse me, I'm using interchangeably specific objective and subtopic, excuse me. Subtopic is subtopic, specific objective is specific objective. So motion under what? Motion under gravity. How gravity affects motion of the bodies? When I say gravity, is for instance that I have this piece of chalk. What if I release it here to fall? So why is it falling? And how can I calculate the accelerations or the velocity, the initial and final velocity? So the last subtopic is called the motion under gravity. Very interesting. And here we have to meet series specific objectives. So I will mention 2, and one I will leave a blank for you. Okay? So you say the specific objectives. Specific objectives of what? Of motion under gravity are, like to make a cut. So this is the last. So the specific objective are, I'd like to cut from the physics syllabus for ordinary secondary school book, Form 1 to Form 4. Okay, the student, you who is watching right now and learning on this platform, the student should be able to do what? Explain the concepts of gravitational force. Explain the concept of gravitational force. And then B, determine acceleration due to gravity. Okay? Due to gravity. And D, C, you, a serious student, should fill the blank. Have this syllabus book, ask your parent to buy it for you, to buy this book for you, so you can extract a lot, you can know the boundaries, and you will be free, fearful mind. You won't have any fear on physics, because physics is not this subject. It's very interesting. So that's all about the subtopics of this topic, of the sixth topic in Form 2 called motion in a straight line. And that's all about specific objective that you have to meet in each subtopic. So how many subtopics do you have? 5 subtopics. And I will teach you each subtopics and solve problem. And I believe that you will enjoy this music, because this is the music. Physics, the music. Learn physics like how you learn to sing a particular song. Okay? So then, after presenting to you the specific objective and subtopics and the big picture of science, I sat down as a teacher, and then, under the God's grace and God's help and God's fresh anointing, I went to him and I asked him to teach me how can I design this course for you. How can I break downs? And I call them, these are not subtopics I'm going to mention to you, the contents that we are going to cover in motion, in the topic of motion in a straight line. So these are the contents now. It means that how I broke down each subtopics into concepts, and when I will be teaching you this concept, you'll find that you meet one specific objective after the other one. Okay? So then now, the next part, which will be the last part for these sessions or introductions or session or period or lecture one, contents of what? Contents of motion. This is according to Sir Olenjolai right now. Contents of what? Of motion in straight line. In straight line, right? So he said that the following are the subtopics. The following are the concepts. Concepts required to be covered in learning. So the first content, which I call the 6.1, okay, 6.11, let's say 6.1, the first content or the first concept that I have to teach you is introduction of what? Of motion. Introduction of motion in straight line. What the means of introductions of motion in straight line? What does it mean? What do you mean when you say that motion is straight line? So that's what I want to teach you before we go into the next subtopics. Then afterward, I will start the first subtopic, which is called the distance and displacement. So the second subtopic, and this is 6.2, is called what? Distance and what? And the displacement. Distance and the displacement. And then the next concept that I will teach you, okay, I will teach you about the speed. The next concept, speed and what? Velocity. Speed is scalar quantity, velocity is vector quantity. And then the next concept that I will teach you, 6.4, I will teach you speed, quality, displacement, distance, or displacement time graph. So I will teach you how you can draw the graph. For example, that you are learning the motion of a car, of a school bus, from Tegeta to Kariako. So you know the distance traveled, or you know the displacement traveled, and you know the time that traveled. So I will teach you how to draw the distance or displacement in the vertical axis, which is y-axis of the coordinate geometry, and also when time is known, we'll place time in the horizontal axis, which is x-axis. So then you know what I think that in mathematics in Form 1 we talked about coordinate geometry and the concept of gradient or finding slope. So you know the slope of this graph, of the distance time graph, the slope is speed or its velocity. If it is distance against the time, the slope is speed. If it's displacement against the time, the slope is equal to what? Velocity of the car, if the motion is in straight line. Then the next concept I'll teach you, okay, I'll teach you about the acceleration, right? Acceleration. Okay, so I'll teach about acceleration, and you remember that acceleration was which subtopic. The third subtopic, acceleration. So, and then the next concept, after teaching you acceleration, I will teach you speed. Here now, we have only velocity. We don't have speed anymore because acceleration is vector quantity. I'll tell you what the means of vector quantity. I'll teach you velocity time graph. Okay, velocity time graph. In this concept, I will teach you how to draw the graph, and you should have graph papers. In the next sessions, you have to find graph papers. I will show you the form, and then I'll teach you how to draw velocity in y-axis and time in x-axis. You know the gradient or the slope of this graph. The slope will be the accelerations of the body that move in a straight line. Then the next concept, after covering velocity, and we'll be solving many questions as well as we can, I will teach you about the equations of uniform accelerated motion. Equations equations of uniform accelerated motion. Accelerated motion. Right? So then this is 6.8. So 6.8, I will teach you now the last subtopic, which you call the motion under gravity. Okay, motion under gravity. 6.9, I will teach you again another concept that's called determinations of acceleration due to gravity. Determination of what? Of acceleration due to gravity. It means we combine the first subtopic and the fifth subtopic. Due to gravity. Due to gravity. Then the 10th concept that I will teach you, I will teach you equations of motion of free fall. Equation. This is introductory equations. Equations of 40. Equations of motion of free fall. Equations of motion of 40 of free fall. Free fall. Then the last concept. The last concept, I will teach you problem solving. Say problems solving. Problem solving of what? This problem solving in motion in a straight line. In a straight line. Okay, so this concept, I will cover it almost in every concept, because in every concept I will give you what? I will teach you the concept, I will give you some examples, maybe mathematical examples or explanations examples, and then start the meanings of problem solving. But we'll be solving many problems from all of these reference books, reference textbooks, and even other online resources. So I will be taking different questions and combine them and simplify the concept so you can enjoy and do even more than what you used to do. Okay, so remember that my main goal in this program is to make students love physics and make them to enjoy the learning process, and even having some extra times to do some other or to learn some other skills. Okay, because physics is easy, and even science and mathematics become easy. This is another thing that I want to remind you or want to inform you before I end this session. in every lecture or in every session, so in every period, I will be leaving a homework to the students who are watching this program. So when you finish to watch the video, don't end the video until you copy also the homework left it for you to try to test yourself whether you have understood the concept or you didn't understand the concept. And the goodness of digital technology is if you didn't understand, you can watch the video and repeat the concept several times until it is written in your permanent memory. So I'll be leaving homework. It will be a serious homework. Make sure that you do homework of one lecture or session or period before you begin to learn the second lecture. For those critical homeworks, I will do the correction at the beginning of the next lecture. For example, if I leave a homework in lecture 1, right? And then, or in session 1, or in period 1, and then its corrections, if it is critical, it means it's difficult for the students to understand, maybe, or even to solve it, then I will make correction in the second lecture, or second period, or second session. Again, my classes are very interactive. I've been teaching students physically, I call this analog system, in more than 10 years. And I touched the life of more than 5,000 students in O level, in A level, in diploma level, in undergraduate level. So I have many witnesses and they can testify at any time how I help their life. So in case that you want to ask questions, I want you to ask many questions as you can, and even having online group discussions with other students. The good thing is YouTube has given us a tool to achieve that, which is a comment section. Ask any question. If you didn't understand the lecture or one point of the lecture or the session, don't hesitate yourself. Ask your questions in the comment section. Some other students in the world can answer your questions, or even myself who is teaching you right now, I can answer your questions in the comment section. So don't remain with your own questions. So another thing, please share this material with other students who are in this level right now. So this is the end of session 1 or period 1 or lecture 1 of introductions of motion in a straight line for the Form 2 students, which is a 60th chapter according to the syllabus of United Republic of Tanzania, designed for the O-level students. So I would like to thank God who have given me this responsibility, because I'm a God's grace, and I enjoy God's grace. And all the praise and glory for everything that we learn in this channel should be given to the Most High God, who deserves to receive everything, because He's the one who lives in me and give me this responsibility. So I'd like also thank God to present this stuff to you. It's a serious, it's a hard work. For example, you see in this channel, it means that I'm alone, but I'm working for the work which should be done by 16 teachers. So it's amazing, or it's surprising, but that's how God is used to work with some of His special servants. So I thank you also for taking your time and watching this program. I believe that you enjoy, and I want to promise you that you will enjoy more, because my intention and my main goal is to make you understand everything or many things that I'm going to teach you, even if that you don't want to understand. You will understand. That's the promise that I want to give you. So okay, I will pray for you, and also pray for me. I need your prayer, because this is a heavier task. In case that you feel from your heart to offer the free willing offering, don't hesitate yourself. Use the mobile transactions, because you are distant. This material can be covered anywhere in the country. Okay, so use this phone number to send your seed free willing offering, and to be received in order to pay the running costs for the other incoming videos. So thank you very much. May God bless you. See you in the next session.